Hello everyone, welcome to New Wealth Japan. I'm thrilled to have you here today. This channel is dedicated to helping travelers from around the world discover and experience the very best of Japan. From ancient temples and historic castles that have stood for centuries, to the vibrant world of anime, unique Japanese souvenirs, and incredible cuisine that will tantalize your taste buds, we cover it all. Japan is a country where tradition meets innovation, where you can enjoy a traditional tea ceremony in the morning and explore cutting-edge technology districts in the afternoon. It's this beautiful contrast that makes Japan so fascinating. We're passionate about sharing hidden gems, travel tips, and cultural insights that will make your Japanese adventure unforgettable. Whether you're planning your first trip or you're a seasoned Japan traveler, we've got something special for you. I'm truly grateful that so many people from all corners of the world share this passion for Japanese culture with us. Your enthusiasm and curiosity inspire every video we create. So sit back, relax, and let's explore Japan together. Let's get started.
Welcome to Shimabara Castle. This castle was built in 1618 by Matsukura Shigemasa over a period of approximately 7 years. It is a flatland castle constructed on plains facing the Ariake Sea, characterized by its magnificent 5-story castle tower and graceful turrets. However, the harsh construction labor and heavy taxation imposed on the people are said to have been contributing factors to the Shimabara Rebellion. Throughout the Edo period, fudai daimyo such as the Matsudaira clan served as castle lords, and it prospered as the political and economic center of Shimabara Domain. After the Meiji Restoration, the castle structures were dismantled, but the castle tower was reconstructed in 1964 and is now open to the public as a historical museum. From within the castle grounds, you can view the majestic Mount Unzen and the tranquil seascape of the Ariake Sea. Precious materials related to Christian history and the Shimabara Rebellion are also on display, conveying the turbulent history to the present day. Please take your time exploring.
So let's talk about Shimabara Castle. It's this absolutely magnificent structure you'll find in southern Japan. And, at first glance, it looks like a picture of serenity, of history. But its story, well, it's one of the most violent and tragic in the country's entire past. It's a tale of beauty that was, and I mean this literally, built on suffering. Today, Shimabara Castle stands as this proud reconstruction, right? It's a huge tourist spot, a symbol of the city's resilience. You can just picture it. People go there to check out those classic white walls and tiered roofs, get an incredible view of the landscape. It really seems like just this peaceful monument to a time long gone. But what if I told you that this symbol of pride was the direct reason an entire region was, well, drenched in blood? What if the simple act of building this very castle is what pushed tens of thousands of people into a desperate and ultimately doomed rebellion? Well, that's the castle's dark secret. The just insane cost of building it was one of the main things that kicked off one of Japan's largest and bloodiest uprisings ever, the Shimabara Rebellion. So this building, it's not just a backdrop to history, it's one of the main reasons that history even happened. So this conflict, it kicks off back in 1637. It was this brutal, really short-lived war that pitted desperate peasants and ronin, masterless samurai, against the full, overwhelming might of the Tokugawa shogunate. And yeah, the cost of building Shimabara Castle, that was the spark that lit the whole thing on fire. Okay, let's really get a sense of the scale of this uprising. Because this wasn't just some small protest, not at all. This was an all-out war that completely consumed the entire region. We're talking about a charismatic young leader going up against an entire empire. And by the time it was all over, the human cost was just staggering. We're looking at an estimated 38,000 people, rebels, their families, men, women, children, all of them killed. Almost no one who rose up actually survived. And here's why. The shogunate's response was, well, it was overwhelming force. They sent an army of 125,000 trained samurai to crush the rebellion. I mean, think about those numbers. The odds were just completely unwinnable from the very beginning. And this really shows you the two sides personified. On the left, you've got Amakusa Shiro. He was just a 16-year-old kid who became this incredibly charismatic leader for the rebels. And on the right, that's the imposing armor of the shogunate samurai class, the very power he dared to challenge. It was a classic battle of faith and desperation against entrenched, established military power. So you might be wondering, what on earth could drive people to a fight that seems so hopeless? Well, the answer is, it was a perfect storm of oppression. A nasty combination of economic ruin and religious persecution that just left people with absolutely nothing left to lose. So on the one hand, you had these crippling taxes, and they were raised specifically to pay for the new, super extravagant Shimabara castle. And if you were a peasant who couldn't pay, you'd face horrific torture. At the exact same time, the shogunate had banned Christianity, so practicing Christians in the area were being systematically hunted down, tortured, and executed. It was like a two-front war, on their lives and on their souls. And for so many of the rebels, this was not just about money, it was a holy war. This cross right here, it's an artifact from that period, and it represents a faith that people were literally willing to die for. See, the shogunate saw Christianity as this destabilizing foreign influence, a threat to their absolute power. But for the rebels, it was their identity. So with nowhere else to go, the 38,000 rebels fall back to the ruins of another castle, Hara Castle. This was it, their final desperate stand. And what came next was a brutal, months-long siege. The rebels held out with this incredible ferocity. I mean, the shogunate's first attacks, they were beaten back, and the shogunate took heavy losses. They even got Dutch trading ships to bombard the fortress from the sea. But the real enemy, the one that would doom them, was inside the walls. Starvation. By April, all their supplies were gone. There was one last failed raid for food, and after that, the shogunate launched its final assault. This quote from an account written at the time really reveals just how desperate things got. The defenders were starving. They were fighting on empty stomachs, eating nothing but seaweed to survive. It's just a haunting, terrible image of how utterly hopeless their situation had become. So after the final massacre at Hara Castle, the shogunate wasn't satisfied. They didn't just want to punish the rebels, they wanted to completely erase the ideas that led to the rebellion in the first place. They wanted to make sure nothing like this could ever happen again. And the government's response was methodical. First, they officially blamed the whole thing on Christianity. Totally ignoring the whole tax issue, of course. They pumped out propaganda to paint the faith as this evil creed. Then, they kicked out almost all foreigners and introduced this policy of collective punishment. Think about this. If just one Christian was found in a village, the entire village would be punished. It was a brutal but incredibly effective way to turn neighbors against each other and destroy the Christian community from the inside out. Which brings us all the way back to where we started, Shimabara Castle. Because today, the rebuilt castle, it's not trying to hide its dark past. Actually, it's the opposite. It's now the main museum dedicated to telling this exact story. So when you walk in, the whole tour kicks off on the first floor with an exhibition all about early Japanese Christianity. The museum puts the story of the religious persecution right up front, displaying artifacts like this cross, openly acknowledging the faith that the government once tried to completely wipe off the map. Then, as you go up, the third floor is all about folklore and the daily life of the common people from that era. And this exhibit is such a powerful reminder that the rebellion wasn't just about soldiers or priests. It was about ordinary people, farmers, craftsmen, whose lives had just become completely unbearable. And finally, when you get to the very top, the observation deck on the 5th floor, you see this absolutely stunning panoramic view. And you realize you're looking out over the exact same land where 125,000 soldiers marched and where 38,000 people fought and died. The contrast between that violent past and the peaceful view today, it's just incredibly powerful. So yeah, Shimabara Castle stands today. It's beautiful, it's preserved. But knowing that its very foundation is tied to so much bloodshed, so much suffering, it really makes you wonder, doesn't it? You can rebuild walls, you can create a museum, but can a place with a history that violent ever really truly be at peace?
And that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed exploring this part of Japan with us. If you found this video helpful or entertaining, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps us reach more travelers like you who love Japan. And here's the most important part. If you haven't already, please subscribe to New Wealth Japan and hit that notification bell. By turning on notifications, you'll be the first to know whenever we upload a new video. We post new content regularly, featuring different destinations, food experiences, and cultural insights across Japan, so you won't want to miss out. Now, we'd love to hear from you. Do you have any questions about what we covered today? Is there a specific place in Japan you'd like us to feature in an upcoming video? Maybe a particular Japanese dish you're curious about, or a cultural tradition you want to learn more about? Please share your thoughts, questions, and suggestions in the comments below. We read every single comment and your feedback helps shape our future content. Also, if you've been to Japan before, we'd love to hear about your experiences. Share your favorite memories or travel tips with our community. Let's learn from each other. Thank you so much for watching and for being part of our New Wealth Japan family. Your support means the world to us. Until next time, safe travels, and see you in the next video. Sayonara.